Cannot believe I can't find my window.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us for Writing Sprint Thursdays with your host, Hank and Abby.
Hey.
How is everyone? As usual, the chat is lively before we kick off here. I love it. I love coming to Writing Sprints and seeing people eager to get going. It does my heart so good. So
Hey, Hank, do you see Ginger has a question in the chat about does Dabble Writer have a storage limit? Do you know the answer to that? Because it's saved on your local device, correct?
It does. It saves to the cloud and to your local device as a backup. There is technically no limit. It grows to whatever size project you have, and if you go to, and I don't have it open at the moment, but where there's a place that tells you like how much
Oh, it's
data
loud.
you're using. I can't remember. Anyway, but basically what that is it's pulling a number from your local hard drive, and you'll see that number change depending on how much space you have on your local hard drive, but you'll never fill up the amount of storage on our servers. That's yeah. And text is small, it doesn't take up much room. But yeah,
There.
you no need to worry about, your storage space on Dabble. We've got you covered.
All right. I have some inspiration for today
Okay.
that I would like to read. So,
Lay it
you
on me.
guys have never really heard me talk about this book, but I'm like low key obsessed with Timmy Failure Mistakes Were Made. This
I don't
is,
know Timmy
I
Failure.
think, hands down, the most brilliant first page in all of literature. I am so sorry, Jane Austen. This takes the cake. But I read the back of the
Oh,
book
I'm
today,
intrigued.
getting ready for tomorrow. I read the back of the book
Okay.
and it cracked me
Okay.
up. So, first of all, Publishers Weekly, Timothy is a terrible sleuth. This is the blurb for the book. He is charmingly inept, absolutely clueless. So these are the blurbs, but it says, "My name is Failure, Timmy Failure. The book you are holding is a New York Times bestselling historical record of my life as the founder, president, and CEO of the best detective agency in town, probably the nation. All the drawings here are by me. I tried to get my business partner to do the illustrations, but they were not good." That's his business partner. Um, it cracks
I
me
love it.
up. This book makes me laugh so hard. Maybe I will read the first page during our next break, because there is just something about when I read this that just like jazzes me up to put
I
my
look
voice
forward
on
to
the
it.
page.
I love it.
So,
I love it. That's a great like when you're looking for inspiration, what are your go-tos? Timmy Failure, I think is I'm gonna get a copy of Timmy Failure today. I'm gonna order it. That's amazing. But I kind of have some go-tos, that
what's yours?
um there's a book that was published in the late 80s or early 90s. It's a book series called The Song of Albion, and it's by Stephen Lawhead. And
Mhm.
I'll read a couple of pages of that, and for whatever reason, I think it has more to do with my perception of the story at this
Yeah.
point than it actually does about the story. And that's
Yeah.
something that we should talk about sometime, is how stories change us in ways that have nothing to do with the story. That's
Yeah.
it's kind of weird, it's kind of the magic of writing and reading. But anyway, I digress. There are certain things like that I'll just, when I read them, I get into creative mode, and I
Yeah.
have no explanation other than that's just part of the magic.
Well, the funny thing was, I don't know that I've ever read the back of that book.
That's so funny.
And so I read it earlier today and was like, I'm in. Makes me feel good. All
Yeah.
right,
Well,
everybody.
here we go, folks. We'll see you in 20. All right. How'd you guys do?
0 words.
Welcome, Doug.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, I got 741. It's a little stilted in places, but it's not terrible. I'll
That's a
take it.
problem for the second draft, Hank.
That's right.
That's what I
right.
always say to myself.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right. How about you, Abby? How'd you do?
Abby's muted.
I beat Doug. I beat Doug 0 with 144. But I was rereading I forgot what I wrote yesterday.
That's a very real thing.
I did not review it before the sprint. So.
Yeah. And what everyone joining us doesn't know is we're having kind of a chaotic day. We've got a lot of stuff going on today, and so we didn't get to just ease into sprints today as we normally do. We've had some other stuff going on this morning. Rosalinda with 387, Aaron with 147, Ashpash with 544, Matalver 153 for me, not bad. Susan, pages 73 through 78 on my revised script today. Emily with 183. Emily said
Aaron, Matalver, Emily, and I, we're all the 100 Club. That's what I'm going to call us.
I like that.
JM Brown with 413. Yeah. So
NJ,
if I skipped over anybody, I'm sorry, but it was moving and I couldn't keep up.
NJ said editing is hard to judge, and though we celebrate word counts in this, you should still celebrate the fact that you just did a 20-minute burst of productivity every time you do one of these. That's right. Awesome too.
Yeah, right, word count is just because it's a measurable thing, but in reality it's
just one metric.
It's just one metric, Yeah. It's not the metric. I'm sorry, Abby, what were you saying?
Are you ready for story time?
Yes.
Oh my God, what did I miss?
Okay, Doug, I think this is the greatest first page in all of literature.
Okay.
Come at me. All right, here we go.
I'm going to make our faces big. Just for now.
Failure.
Down.
And all you need, there is a little illustration, so I'll show you in a second. It says a prologue that story-wise is out of order. It's harder to drive a polar bear into somebody's living room than you'd think. You need a living room window that's big enough to fit a car. You need a car that's big enough to fit a polar bear. And you need a polar bear that's big enough not to point out your errors. Like the fact that you've driven into the wrong house, which, when it comes to cars in living rooms, is bad. I should back up the story, not the car.
You know what? I think that might be the best first page ever. There's a lot of storycraft going on there.
There is, and least of which is not the fact that each sentence, that the subsequent sentence is not what you expect.
Right.
It subverts the story with each subsequent sentence, which is amazing. And as you read it, you're like, well, of course, I mean, that's where it's going, but it doesn't seem like that's where it's going to go. It's brilliant. It reads like it was written so easy, yet that it was very carefully crafted.
Yeah. I mean, anyway, that's why I'm so obsessed in so many ways with this book. So anyway, there we go.
1 minute until the next sprint. Let's share the link for sprint number 2, please.
Susan is in the 100 Club too. Woo!
Boom. All Excellent. Right. Link for sprint 2 is Doug. Are you joining us for this one, or you?
I certainly am.
Okay.
This book's not going to write itself.
Okay. Oh, all right.
I do have a story to share in our next break. Something that happened to me today that made me think about writing. So,
all right.
Ooh, I love it.
So let that be your motivation.
We never think about writing, right?
No,
never.
I think about writing during this hour and
that's
half hour 45-minute block or hour 15-minute block. Yeah. Otherwise, who needs it? All right, we're starting, everybody.
All right, we'll see you in 20.
All righty.
So I don't know if anyone noticed or not, but the screen went away because my internet died, and I kept
Oh
trying to
no.
reconnect, and I finally wound up having to reboot my computer, and I still got 476 words.
What? You still beat me.
We were too
Jeez,
absorbed
how
in our work
annoying!
to
There's
notice.
add on top of that, I'm having a terrible dyslexia day, and I feel like I'm going back and erasing half of the words I'm typing to type them over. See, we all
still.
get frustrated. We all get
Yes.
frustrated. It happens. to
476 words is fantastic.
I'm not complaining. I'm 476. How'd everybody else do? Please tell me somebody else is having a better day than I am. Athena with 540. You go.
Ashley with 341.
Boom.
I
J.M.
got
Brown 411.
Nice.
1022 pour moi.
How many, Doug?
1022 pour moi.
I'm with Susan in the 200 club.
Oh, 200
Ooh.
club.
Hey, you doubled from last time.
I did.
Yeah.
You know what?
I even
That's
got distracted and doubled my last time number.
We call that
Susan-
growth, Abby.
Susan asking here, why don't you add music in your writing sprints? And it's not something we haven't thought of, but as Matulver said, some people prefer to pick their own music. Some people don't want sound on while they're writing.
Nope.
Well,
Me.
and also we have the problem of copyright because we're on YouTube, and if we play music, we might get a strike against our channel for copyrighted material, and nobody wants that because we're here to if we get kicked off of YouTube, we're not doing anybody any good.
Yeah.
And nobody wants that.
We do often share playlists that we're listening to.
Yes.
So I teased before. I had a story I wanted to share.
Yes.
I'm gonna make our faces big here. So I was walking my dog today, and it's a little snowy out. It's a little wet, right? It's been rainy, but now it's cooler, so it's slushy. And I'm out there. I'm just listening to book 2 of Mistborn, walking my dog, having a good time.
Yeah.
See this person walking on the street. We're on the sidewalk. They're on the street. Snowbank in the way, and he has his head down, kind of little balaclava on almost to stay warm. And I say hi to everyone I pass, right? And I find the smaller the town you're in, the more likely you are to get a hi back. And I'm in a small city, so not everyone says hello, but I say, hey, how's it going? Yeah. And he smiles at me.
Nice.
Just being nice, just being a good person, like
good Canadian.
Yeah. And he says hi, and then we just kind of walk past, and then he turns around and he pulls down his thing and he points to me. He's like, "You're awesome," and I'm like, "You're awesome," and then we just walked on, and that's it. And first of all, there's a point to this story, right? But it made me smile the whole time. How much time do we have? I want to make sure. Okay, we got a minute. It made me think from a writing perspective. I immediately, just from him saying those 2 words, "You're awesome," to me, immediately put together some things in my head. Like, rarely anyone says hi to this guy, or maybe he's having a bad day and me just waving made it better. And made me think, as writers, especially newer writers, we have a tendency to put everything on the page. What people mean in dialogue, what the exact reaction is, how we want our characters to react. But I think some of the best dialogue comes without the explicit meaning behind it, or with inferences, and maybe what I implied from that was completely wrong, which is also interesting from a character perspective as well. So that's what I mean. Once I got past the just being happy that a random person's like, "You're awesome," and then I'm like, how can I bring this to our shows today, because that's what I thought of. So
love it.
You must be in small town Southern Canada. Because is that not saying hello? Not totally a Southern thing. Because when I
that
moved
is
to
a
Rhode
Southern
Island,
thing. When we drive, we wave to everyone.
Yep.
And my
How you
husband
doing?
used to say in Rhode Island, "Put your hand down. People are going to know you're not from here."
My parents live in a town that's like population 1,200 until the summer hits. Then a lot of people join in, and everyone says hello there. Right here, 50-50 shot. But we're starting up our sprint. Hank, I'm putting
Are
you
we
back
ready?
on screen here.
Okay.
I'm writing a quintessential small Southern town, so there's that.
So someone's saying hi.
That's right. Someone is about to say hi, actually.
uh, All righty. Hank's just plugging away still, even though the timer's up. That's
Sorry.
dedication.
Trying to finish sentence 955 words.
Oh. I got 972.
Nice.
Just couldn't make that 1,000 mark this time around.
Jeez. I'm gonna have to soak my hands in ice water now. Oh, man.
I tabbed into the window or to the stream here just to make sure that no one was asking any questions or Hank's computer didn't shut down again. And I chuckled because I saw TW in reference to the person I was talking about during the break there. They must be a Dabble Premium member.
I love it. I love it. And I have this vision of you walking the streets of north of Toronto, whatever your small town is,
Very,
and people
very.
just recognizing you from Dabble Premium Workshop. And
I'm sure it'll happen one day.
Well, and we all know you walk your dog with your tweed jacket with the patches on the elbows, So-
You're not far off.
I know. You don't have to pretend. I know.
Oh,
All right.
Man,
well,
we have 14 minutes until our next show.
I know. Renee just asked a question. Should your lead magnet always be the same genre as your story? And Renee, I'm throwing that into our premium office hours, which are starting in 14 minutes. So if you're a Dabble Premium member and you're in the chat here, be sure to join us for that. The link is in your inbox or in the Storycraft Cafe.
Are you seriously going to leave her hanging?
No, I'm going to give a quick
come
answer. I'm going to give a quick answer and then follow it up with, we will dive more into this in the office hours. But I know the folks here need a chance to stand up from their computer before we launch into another hour-long show.
Be sure to copy your words out before you lose them.
Yeah, but the short answer is yes. It should be the same genre as your story, and I'll explain why in office hours. But ultimately, you want the readers of the lead magnet to read your story, and so the only way to ensure that is to make sure it's the same genre. Getting teamed up on here. Of course I'm not. All right. I need a break from you two. So
I have to go walk my dog real quick before she loses her mind.
Oh,
all right.
All right.
Thanks everybody for the good sprints.
See you guys in a few. Bye.
Bye.